Sailed a wild, wild sea, climbed up a tall, tall mountain. I met an old man beneath the weeping willow tree. He said, now if you got some questions, go and lay them at my feet. But my time here is brief, so you'll have to pick just three.
Hello everybody and welcome to The Magic Show. I'm your host, Evan Irwin, and today we're going to cover the latter half of 2006, along with the first wave of The Magic Show's Best of Star City 2006 awards. And I promise that none of my silly articles will be involved. So we left off last time with Cold Snap sucking. Now this has since been counteracted with such cries as, Rod of Flame is currently in top tier decks. Yeah, and Homelands gave us Serrated Arrows. Congratulations, you found a playable card in a bad set. Anyway, August began the slow realization of how bad Cold Snap drafting was, and everyone eagerly awaited a metagame without Jites and dragons. The first time Spiral spoilers hit the web beginning with Errant Ephemeron. This was the, quote, promotional common given to retailers or distributors or, one of those people that sell the magic. Take a look at Planar Chaos's promo common, Dead and Gone. This yet again breaks the color pie in half with red bounce effects, along with being the first ever mono-colored split card, and I assure you this will be rocking draft tables all spring long. Now, as I mentioned last week, Wizard had messed up with Time Spiral. They originally sent out a notice that the set was 422 cards and then immediately retracted it to 301. Mark Rosewater wrote a whole article about it, how Wizards was being clever, and one coincidence after another caused an uncertain event to show a Chroma in her full updated wording and old frame self splashed on TV screens across America during Adult Swim. With the secret out of the bag, the speculation began. Rumor sites, the best marketing no money can buy, raged forth with ideas on which cards were coming back. The one that everyone banked on was Meddling Mage. Oh, Pakula, how your card rocks us all. So that simply wasn't meant to be, and everyone else tried to figure out whether Sonic Blast was a joke or whether suspend cards were worth playing. And I guess at this point, we can safely say that Ancestral Visions is sorta, if built with correctly, kinda worth playing right now. But everyone else still says it's jank, and everyone still bemoans that it's the worst top deck of all time. So Time Spiral was released in early October, and the world was good. Magic Online, of course, received Time Spiral a full month later than everyone else because even if the game is almost pure profit online, the programmers can't keep NDAs, and the sets would just leak all over the internet like MTG Salvation's famous test card fiasco. Anyway, everyone loves the damn set, and don't tell me it's not awesome to have blue direct damage or a Chroma running across tables everywhere. Me, I could do with less Sacred Mesa, but more Call of the Herd. Thanks much. The last Pro Tour of the year featured Time Spiral Limited with Jan Moritz Merkel taking home the title. It was also the Pro Tour in which green was found to be good in the set, to the surprise of many for some reason. Afterwards, most bemoaned that they just got screwed, the format was all bombs, and somehow they got all the removal in the world, but just couldn't draw it. Oh my god, those dirty luck sacks. After Kobe, players began to explore constructed possibilities of the set for Worlds. We had new Storm cards, possible broken combinations with all sorts of things. I mean, for Christ's sake, Stuffy Doll had a 6-mana combo. What was next? This is where the metagame shift of Kamigawa and Time Spiral is so different. Not only is Time Spiral a much larger set, it also has a much higher number of good playable cards. Cards that need decks to accommodate for them, yet if they do so will quickly create winning combinations. These are known as Tier 2 cards, cards which don't define the format but do impact the player base by their very existence. The problem with Kamigawa block was that most of the powerful cards were filtered down to one ultimate creature or creature set, or one ultimate artifact. I wonder what it was. Call of the Herd isn't breaking standard, but it's a damn good card. It has answers, solutions, and workarounds. A Chroma is nuts, but there are dozens of answers for her. The funny part of this whole metagame shift is that the truly powerful and meta-warping cards are in 9th edition, with Urzatron and Wrath of God showing everybody who's boss. Demon Fire would be a lot less attractive if you didn't have Urza's minions providing the game-winning resources. This is where I again think about Wrath leaving the format and believe that nothing but good things would come of it. Here's hoping for next summer, eh? Now the year ends with the same question as last New Year's. When won't the Japanese stop kicking everyone else's asses? I mean, seriously. Or, what's coming in the middle set, guys? As of this writing, we know 9 cards. Of those 9, the black cards are most impressive. The black Time Walk, Temporal Extortion, the new Control Magic with Subordination, and Wizards let green players down yet again with the unfortunate Jedit Ojanen of Evavra. I'm sure you'll get some love sometime, green mages. I mean, check it out. They gave you a green pacifism. You're really going somewhere now. Lastly, I want to give a little shout out to my boys from Kamikawa. This one's for you.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. He said, son, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned?
So the new extended metagame ramps up, and Standard is one of the most interesting and deep environments ever created. Planar Chaos can only hope to strengthen this as the color pie bleeds all over and we're just a Rob Zombie away from being a slasher pick. And now, the Magic Show Best of Star City 2006 Awards. Alright guys, this will be a fun one. Over the next few weeks, I began with January and went through every single day of StarCityGames.com content. From all of that content, I culled my 10 favorite articles, but I also noticed a lot of great stuff I'm going to leave behind if I just list 10 good reads. So first, I'll list the best dailies of the year. The best daily of the year runner-up is Richard Feldman. Richard Feldman wrote a daily series on the week of February 20th. Now, you know a guy who's good at magic and you want him to improve? Point him Mr. Feldman's way. Starting with the interesting and important Better Right Than Pretty, he works his way through various strategies and situations and shows you why they're important. Just awesome stuff. The best daily of the year is from The Ferret. The Ferret wrote a daily series on the week of May 1st. The Ferret, a writer I truly admire, takes the daily format to a whole new level as he brings us inside not only his thinking processes, but shows us the birth of Star City Games as we know it. Were it not for me lumping these together, The Truth Inside Team Academy could be my favorite article of the year. It shows how through brutal criticism people can change and improve. Trust me, I can relate. Now these next few are honorable mentions. I'll have to break down the entire top 10 next week in order to give them some justice, but these next few selections just missed the mark. I present them in no particular order. First up is Game Theory and Introduction to Metagame Shift by John Beatty. This was a really interesting article on how game theory interacts with magic. Soon there were numbers, variables, and charts involved. Of course, as with most brilliant one-shots, the author was never heard from again. Next up is Why Winners Win from Braden Clark Tarpley. This was a really interesting article on the mindset of a tournament player and how it affects your game. He also demonstrated the responses of a typical forum downer and how they would react to various announcements. They are scarily accurate. Lastly, there is Sullivan Library, The Funsies by Adrian Sullivan. Adrian Sullivan really does it right with this one, showing us the goofy, wacky fun you can have with magic in all of its various forms. In it he gives you some great rogue games to play, which have saved me from falling asleep many a time, along with some cool mental magic games and a new draft format. Okay everybody, that's another show. Next week I'll be dishing out the awards for 2006, ending on a high note, and hope to what will be the beginning of a glorious and fun 2007. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.